Good afternoon. It is my true pleasure to be back here on Fingrid Current event. As we all remember, the Fingrid events are always been perfectly prepared up to every detail, and as we all know that all the Fingrid events always had a great audience of the top professional from Finland and abroad. So this is my pleasure to talk here with you. And as we just heard from our Dutch colleagues, that as they are having more than 2 million connection points, and in their model they already are having a standardized messaging and a uniform processing. This is actually something what I'm going to talk. Let's go to my slides. So access to data is a must, and it is must if we want to engage customers. And we have to engage customers if we really want to get to energy transition fast as we really want, and with a reasonable cost as we probably also want altogether. This is all possible only if we are having a data, and having a data we can provide the services which will enable to engage customers. How this will work? First of all, a couple of words about the Enefit, what we are. We are more than 80 years old, meaning quite an old company. We are working in 5 countries, all the Baltic countries, Finland and Poland. We are employing 4,500 dedicated colleagues, and we are providing our services nowadays to 700 plus customers, aiming to 1 million. We have been investing a lot. Our revenues are close to 1 billion, and we are still profitable. And what are our fields of activity? You can see here below. This is the generation of the power, both from the renewable sources. By the way, we are one of the biggest wind generators by today in all the Baltic region. And then the generation from the thermal plants. Then we're operating network, distribution network of Estonia, about 85% of it. And then we are on the retail markets offering the customer services to our customers. And on the middle of it, we are having our development and innovation department, which is actually contributing to all our businesses to be efficient, competitive, and useful for the customers. When we were completing our strategy, actually we reached to understanding that our mission, or how we call it, ambition in the world, is to be offering customers useful, convenient energy solutions, and to produce energy in an increasingly environmental friendly way. And this is the way we are contributing to be a world to be a better place. So maybe this last part of it, the cleaner world and the energy companies' role on this is almost like a must by today. But the first part of it, we want to offer useful, convenient solutions to our customers. This is maybe not so new, and we think that it took us also some time to understand that if we want to be there in the future, if we want to be competitive, then actually we have to take a customer point of view, and we need to be useful and offer solutions to our customers. So this was our understanding some time ago, and how we have been doing it. So all the markets where we are, those are the 5. We want to offer then smart energy solutions and the excellent experience. And the way we have been choosing is to give a handshake. And this handshake is digital, as you see. And we will engage the customer to this transition story. So we will see that this will happen in a digital way. This will happen using a lot of data. This will happen using artificial intelligence. So just as a fact, we were probably a first bigger utility in Europe closing our last physical service counter in Estonia in 2013. So from this time, we have been servicing our customers through digital channels, self-service, mobile app. And actually, since this time, our customer satisfaction has been only increasing. So this is our way to be useful to our customers and offer convenient and useful services. Now, does the size matter? Why this question? I will explain. If we normally want to think that we are where we stay, we are in the middle of the world and everything else is rotating around us, then here, and this is fine if we're coming from this point of view, but we still have to put it a little bit on a scale. So I have been making a comparison to one of the biggest power markets in Europe. This is Germany, and then all the other markets where we are active as a dots here on this background. And what we can see that Germany, which makes more than 500 terawatt hours per year, and if we compare it to Estonia, for instance, which is 8 terawatt hours, or Latvia with 7, even Finland a little bit less than 90 terawatt hours, and Poland 162, it's altogether still less than the German market. And then if we come to next thing to ask, being small, do we still want to have a best service? Yes, we still want to have a best service. Then, if we are coming to reality, then on the left here we see quite a regular or standard invoice in Poland, which we have been trying to understand for our system development use. We have been putting areas for us to understand and describe for our system. You can see it's quite a complex job altogether. And then invoice what is provided by Enefit, our app, to our customers. And here you can see that even without understanding best intelligence language in the world, Estonian, you can still understand that the first line marks power, second marks grid, and the third marks taxes. So 3 components on the invoice. You can even click on this invoice on your mobile phone. This is mobile screenshot. So you can click on this invoice and pay it from your mobile. So this is something we are used already in Estonia. And actually, this is quite a standard service if we're coming to any other field of business like banking, telcos, or many others. And I think it should be a standard already in energy sector by today in Europe. But actually, this is not really the case. Now, if we think that we want to develop to this level in all the markets, then coming back to the market size, how big our markets are, then actually we have to invest into the platforms. And we have to invest actually into access of the data. Now coming to another obstacle here. This is actually rollout of the smart metering in Europe. And again, in Finland, as we know that this has been pretty good development. So Finland mostly is covered already with the smart meters. Same is a story in Estonia, where we had our smart meter program closed already by 2016, and some other countries in Europe. But there are many countries in Europe where this journey is just on its beginning. So it takes still some time. Although the smart metering program and goals were agreed in Europe already some time ago, it still takes time. And then we are coming to next thing. If we heard from our Dutch colleagues that their messaging is standardized and the processing is uniform, it would be very interesting to compare this Dutch standardized and uniform model with a Finnish model, for instance, and to see and understand how similar those are, how one standard they are. But our finding has been that in all the markets, even around the Baltic Sea, it goes quite different ways. Let's take a look on this. So if we see the communication formats as is in countries around the Baltic Sea, I will not read them. Many of you probably know those protocols much better than me, but you can see that there is no common protocol agreed how we exchange the data. So even neighbors, Finland, Sweden, Estonia, Latvia, and so on, we are still using our own ways to go for it. And if we go further, we see the processing. It's even more differences what we can see from here. So why is that? Probably all the countries they have had their background from where they're coming. What is the standard on the market? What they have managed to agree with the regulator on, or what is set up in the laws, electricity market tax, or so on. But this is the fact how it appears. So as a consequence, for the market participant who is selling power in different countries, and if we still assume that if we're going to other market with our platform, we are just localizing our platform, then it actually means that we always create a new platform entering the market. And maybe this is not a problem, but why this is a big problem? The problem is that if we are coming back to the size, how small we are, the whole markets, then basically we have to invest the similar amount in all the markets, and investment per one consumer will be very big. So there are two bad things. One is that the customer has to pay for it. So basically the service will be either more expensive for the customer, or we need to compromise on the quality of the service, which is not the case, because we are all very demanding as a customers here towards our digital services. And then another thing is that some suppliers might decide not to enter into some smaller markets, and those markets will suffer for a lower competition, and this is also not good from the customer point of view. So actually from here I'm coming to my conclusions and takeaways. So we are having enormous amount of data, because already today, as a smart metering is developing all the markets around the Baltic Sea. Today we are collecting the hourly data, but we are moving soon to quarterly hour data, which will be even more data. But this data is still very difficult to use for the customer benefit. Then on the EU level, we must agree the set of data. And the principle here should be that, of course, if we agree across Europe something, it should be as few as possible and as much as needed. So this is also something that needs to be agreed. And of course, the core here is that this should be a set which is enough to standardize the platforms and to be easily utilized in many markets of Europe. Then more coordinations and agreement between data hub owners and users is needed. So far, we have been very busy in each country developing our own data hubs. Certainly, there has been a lot of consultation nationally and the negotiations how to make it. But we still miss the cross-border coordination, and this is something what we need to focus. And even if it today maybe looks that it's too late because we have agreed already, we have developed something already, we have used some kind of model, it's never too late. We can prepare for the iteration 2 and then with a long enough notice actually to try to implement with the next round. And then our broader goal is to agree a single common standard and the rules for EU countries to make a maximum use of it for the customers and society. So our very clear view after 7 years of using our own database and developing the platform for the customer services is that this is the way. We can be much more efficient. We can make it much more convenient for the customers, and the most important is that we can engage customers on this energy transition, making really the energy sector much more environmentally friendly and helping other sectors as well through electrification to adapt to a new standards of tomorrow. So this is my message. We want to share our experience. We want to be actively involved, working out of those standards and communicating it towards Europe as we see a huge benefit for the customers in the future. Thank you very much for the attention, and I wish you a very good day at the Fingrid Current.